Hey fellow explorers, in this video I'm going to be taking you around Coronado, the crown jewel of San Diego, which is often named one of the best beaches in the USA. We're going to be walking through the historic Hotel Del, that is the second largest wooden structure in the USA, and I'm going to show you around the village with all the shops and the restaurants just on the other side of the hotel. I'm going to turn the camera on so you can see what I can see, and first we're starting with the beach right here. The beach in Coronado is 2 miles of sandy beach that is sandwiched between two different Navy bases. The Navy SEALs train to the south, and then to the north is Naval Air Station North Island, but in between is 2 miles of public beach land. We've got Point Loma over here. This is home to the Cabrillo National Monument, that if you're standing up there, you can get great views of the beach and the city line just down this way. Now, the parking here, pretty much all free parking in the neighborhoods. If you arrive at the Hotel Del, yes, you're gonna pay a pretty penny, but you will find plentiful free parking along the roads. This beach is also lifeguarded year round. There are little small lifeguard towers, but there's also a big lifeguard tower stacked in the center that has public restrooms and showers. Along this section in front of the Hotel Del, there is a beach boardwalk, so like a little sidewalk that fronts the sand from the Hotel Del down to the condominiums just down this way. Planning your visit to Coronado, I think definitely the best place to start is absolutely the Hotel Del. Explore the property and then explore the village as we're gonna do it. The other way you might come into Coronado is via a ferry. There is a passenger ferry that'll take you from downtown San Diego into Coronado. If you are coming in that way, then you will be arriving at the ferry landing, which is a couple miles from the Hotel Del. You probably won't want to walk it. You'll want to rent a bike. You'll want to take an Uber or something to get you on that final stretch. They've got some nice beach chairs out here for hotel guests of the hotel. Somebody just a little bit earlier was making some sand castles. We've got a sign that says, "Congratulations, graduates of 2025," and another one to let you know, Happy Earth Day. All right, going into the Hotel Del proper, in front of it, there's the Hotel Del Beach Club. There is a taco shack on the beach that way. They've got little coffee shops out here. This one probably open more on a busier day. Beach Brews for coffee. They've got a little van over there that does s'mores for hotel guests. This is the big swimming pool complex. This hotel has like a lot of rooms. So when it was built in 1888, it was the largest hotel at the time. There were over 2,000 full-time construction workers that worked on this hotel. And actually over the years, it hasn't done as well as it has today. Like they nearly went bankrupt. They set up like glamping or a tent city in World War II. It was used to treat casualties, but it recently underwent like a significant remodel that has brought the hotel back to some of its original glamour and splendor. There's a bunch of cool restaurants that are out here, including a Nobu if you like sushi. There's a cool bar out here, the Babbitt and Story Bar, really popular at sunset time for an evening drink. As we come over this way, there is the Sun Deck, food, drinks, and music. We can take a look at the menu so you can see what prices are on these things. A cheeseburger is $29 if you want the Del cheeseburger. Definitely not gonna be the cheapest food around. If you're looking for good deals, you'll probably wanna check out the village, but this restaurant too is open to the public. They got fire pits, they've got music. It overlooks the hotel swimming pool that we're gonna see just down here. This is for hotel guests only. It's got its own little pool bar. Hotel guests can order food at the pool. All right, there's also a like grab and go deli, a pizza restaurant over this way. But my favorite way to get into the hotel, oh, by the way, that's a cool old wood structure up there, and like neat rooms inside for special functions or holiday brunches. They're really big on holiday meals here, so if you find yourself in San Diego around Thanksgiving or Christmas or things like that, this is a great place to have a festive meal. So the best way, I find, to get into the lobby is to come in through the Babbitt and Story Bar. But you can see this is this old school bar that still has the old school wood right here. I mean, like this spot where the bartender can hang out under the little wooded roof is pretty neat. They've got complimentary water over here in case you're thirsty. they have old school pictures of what the hotel looked like back in the day. Here we go with the old school Victorian attire. And you'll notice I walked at this level that doesn't look like the lobby. The side on the beach, basically you enter into the shops. So we are one level below the lobby. And there's just a bunch of shops down here. It's like a little hotel shopping mall. You find a little gift shop over on this side with, you know, cups, shirts, surfboards. I don't think anybody's buying a surfboard in here. Boogie boards. But, you know, if you forgot your beach going supplies, you can pick some up in there along with sunglasses, no problem. And you can rent bikes here too. Okay, so to get up to the lobby, there's an elevator or this old school staircase next to the realty store. By the way, do they have prices of these things? If you're curious how much it costs to live here, you can buy this house right here for a cool $2 million. Right? Or you can buy one of the condos like in the Hotel Del for $2.5 million. So there you go, bargain price. Okay, heading up the staircase here, you can see this, that little mall I feel like is a bit new feeling. It definitely used to have a more old school vibe back in the day, but they made it brighter and cleaner. They have retained the old school vibe up here in the lobby. There are a couple of gift shops over here. A lot of Top Gun memorabilia. The Top Gun was all set here in San Diego on North Island. There's the historic I-bar or International Bar that is shown in the movie on the beach here in Coronado. Turns out that I-bar exists on the Navy base, but not in the place that they showed it. It doesn't in fact exist on the beach. They built a temporary one, if you've seen Top Gun Maverick, for that I-bar, and then they tore it down when they were done filming the movie. Too bad, because a lot of us would probably like to check that out. All right, this is the main check-in area of the lobby. Lots of wood. This is the actual reception or check-in. Behind, they've got the old school tassels where they like used to have keys. Don't worry, you actually get like a modern key card nowadays. And then chandelier in the center. Christmas time, they have a tradition of putting up big Christmas trees here in the lobby. And then two of the special events rooms are the Crown Room and the Coronet Room, where they often have a lot of brunches and famous festive holiday things. Old school mailbox right here, this old school metal mailbox. On this side, you can see that the building is a Queen Anne style building that began in 1887, and people started coming in 1888. That is impressive. It was the largest wooden structure in the US until 1944 and is a designated US national landmark. Those buildings over there are also all part of the hotel. So if you are staying here and you want a classic room in the classic building, you know, make sure to actually book one of those. Otherwise, you might end up in the slightly soulless new room. Nice fountain here in the valet drive. And if we go over this way, we're gonna start walking into the village. Oh, there's more, by the way, the shops of the Del. Like there's this whole kind of like underground maze of those shops. We didn't walk around all of them, but you can. There's an ice house museum and a power plant. You can see the big smokestack of the power plant right over there. What's the best time of year to come to Coronado? Well, the summer is definitely going to be the busiest time. This hotel is right on the sand, so popular for people to come that want to go to the beach. The beach in Coronado also really good for families with kids because the waves are really gentle here, and it's a sand bottom and it's a gently sloping bottom. People often ask me, Chris, what's the best beach to come to in San Diego if I got little kids? It's going to be this one, and it's going to be La Jolla Shores. Those are the two best beaches if you've got kiddos. Okay, this street right here is Orange Avenue. I just want to show you a peak view out here. This is the bay on this side, Glorieta Bay, this is part of it, which is part of the bigger San Diego Bay. Going the opposite way that I was going, south, will take you down to the Silver Strand. You'll have to pass by the base for the Navy SEALs, and then 4.5 miles later you get to the Silver Strand Beach, which is another cool sandy section of beach. There's like camping down there, like if you've got an RV and you want to camp, you can do it down at the Silver Strand. If you go even further, you will get to Imperial Beach, which has a cool pier down there. Though, do note, the water in Imperial Beach often polluted from sewage that comes up from Tijuana. Luckily, Coronado generally doesn't suffer that problem. The currents don't bring the untreated sewage up this far. There's more hotels if you don't want to stay at the Hotel del. Across the way is the Coronado Beach Resort. If you're driving around here, I will caution you to be careful with the speed limit. The speed limit on the island is generally 30 miles per hour or 25 miles per hour. Coronado has its own police force separate from San Diego, and they viciously enforce their speed limits. They also viciously enforce the 2-hour parking. Like, it's free parking in many places, but it's 2-hour free parking. So do pay attention to those signs and pay attention to how long you've been parked there. Okay, so just out the corner now here from the Hotel del begins the little Coronado Village. There's the historic El Cordova Hotel, some cool shops in the way. There's a Mexican place I really like in there called Miguel's and the Brigantine, and we're gonna speed up to get through this intersection while the light is still okay for crossing. Otherwise, I'm gonna be standing there for a long time and you're gonna be really bored. If you're looking for something quick, fast, and relatively cheap, outpost of Chipotle, the famous build-your-own burrito and taco place that comes from Colorado. If you're looking for rental cars, across the way, there's an Enterprise rental car. Some people right here, they rented a Surrey. That's always fun. You know, it's an island, so we've got a place that sells Birkenstocks and sandals. Coronado Resort Wear Company. Get your shirt that says California or San Diego or Coronado, or perhaps even get your dog poncho. You know this is something your dog has always wanted, isn't it? I think so. All right. There are 2 buses that serve Coronado, bus 901 and 904. You'll find at least one of those coming from downtown San Diego. I guess that's kind of the pro of the bus. As you take it, it'll drop you off here, as opposed to the ferry. But, you know, an Uber or a Lyft isn't gonna cost you that much or take too much time. My wife OC Girl's favorite San Diego-based coffee shop right over there, this place called Better Buzz Coffee Roasters. Check that out if you like coffee. We're not going to explore the residential neighborhoods of Coronado, but you can see there's like these cool Victorian style houses. It's really neat to explore where people live too. There's a golf course over that way on the other side of the island as well. Here's the Village Pizzeria. Get yourself some pizza. Next to that is Island Pasta, homemade pasta, pizza, sandwiches, salads. Bank of America, if you need to hit up an ATM. Around the corner, Crown City Cigars. By the way, how much do these houses cost? I showed you the price of the condos. One of these big houses, these Victorian style houses, $5.5 million. And actually that house that we looked at is probably a craftsman style house. This sort of 2-story wood kind of house that is a really classic architecture here in Coronado. Old school looking bank at what used to be the Bank of Coronado, now part of the Bank of California. Downtown sidewalks, pedestrians only, no bikes, scooters, skateboards, and no marijuana smoking either. Says that sign, or smoking, or vaping. Oh, this place does a guided pedicab tour of Coronado for just $100 per tour. Split that among 4 or 5 people. I guess it gets less expensive per person. I told you brunch is really popular around here. At the Little Frenchy Bistro, we have Le Brunch, offered from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can get your, looks like French toast and some quiche some people are eating out there. The Seaside Papery, an old school paper shop. That was not the word I was looking for. Stationery store, old school stationery store. We have a little theater over here. They've got the Lambs Players Theater. Once the musical, extended again and again. Cool toy shop for kids. Geppetto's right here. Toy shops, unfortunately, like thing of the past in a lot of U.S. cities because Target and Walmart has like put them out of business. But still here in Coronado, you don't find a ton of big chains, a ton of big box stores. We've got Parakeet Cafe, also popular breakfast brunch spot. Across the way, another popular place, the Henry. You'll find a lot of these places will have their outdoor seating, because really this is the kind of place to come all year round. So I told you in summer it's going to be busy. My favorite time to come would probably be in the fall, so September, October, November. In September and October, all the summer crowds are gone and the water is still warm. Water temperature, oh, this is, by the way, cool, this Seeger Western brand. This is like a little surf shop over here, so if you need to pick up some actual surfwear, like actual good board shorts or swimwear, you can check it out in this place. I could smell the surfboard wax coming out of the store. That's how you know it's a good surf shop, when you can smell the surfboard wax. People put wax on their surfboards to make it not slippery so that they don't fall off. Up there was an Old Town trolley tour going by. That's another way to get here if you're not renting a car. From Old Town San Diego is where they originate, but they make a bunch of stops throughout San Diego. We've got the Coronado Historical Association. So if you want to learn more about Coronado, you can also get on their historic walking tour. You do have to pay for that. The tickets are sold here. Orange Avenue, the parking along Orange Avenue is that 2-hour parking Monday through Saturday. If you're here on a Sunday or a national holiday, then you can park there for longer. There's a cool little flower shop right here on this little plaza of Park Place. It's pretty neat. I like the flower lady, the Coronado flower lady, that interestingly has somebody working there who is not a lady. I'm not sure, but all right. Cool clock right here. This clock says Coronado established 1890. Water bottle filler right here. Some unhappy kid across the street who's screaming. And this tree was planted in 1936. The Coronado Rotary Club Christmas tree. Cool. Okay, I mentioned that Coronado is a big Navy town, so we see some sailors that are out here, probably out for some eats, as you would. Okay, this says cross, so we're gonna go ahead and, well, nothing's crossing, so I hear it saying walk, but nothing's walking. All right, green light. We are now at Orange and 10th Avenue. There's an outpost of Panera Bread over here, American chain sandwich spot. If you're looking for something quick to eat, you can check it out there. Their sandwiches are solid, but I don't know, are you in Coronado to eat a Panera Bread? If you find everything else is too busy and you know, you need a reservation and you don't have one, all right, then get yourself a sandwich. That would probably be a good place for an inexpensive breakfast. Pick up some pastries and some coffee, have it the next day. Also, right next to an outpost of Starbucks. Next to that, we've got Villa Nueva, Mexican pastry cafe, famous for chilaquiles, which is a Mexican breakfast of like tortilla chips and eggs, essentially. Another realtor here, popular for realtor. Here's a overhead shot of Coronado, so I think this is cool to see. This is where we started, right here in front of the Hotel Del. We walked up and we walked through. This would go south to the Silver Strand, so we didn't go that way. We are walking, we are right about here right now. This is the ferry terminal over this way. You would take the ferries to or from downtown San Diego. Then if you're driving in, then 2 ways in, one across the Coronado Bay Bridge this way, or 2 along the Silver Strand from Imperial Beach. So it's called Coronado Island. Technically not an island because it is connected by a small spit of land that they call the Silver Strand. I'd say most people tend to get here on the Coronado Bridge, though the bridge definitely has some traffic in the morning for all the people that are commuting into the Navy base, and then around 3 to 5 p.m. for all of the people leaving Naval Station North Island. So you might want to avoid the 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. hour, 7 to 8 a.m., 7 to 8:30 a.m. avoid coming into Coronado, and then you'll probably want to avoid 3 to 5 p.m. leaving Coronado. You'll probably also want to fill up your gas before you get here too, because the gas on the island is probably $1 more than it is in other places. We find the regular at $5.79 and the premium at $5.99. There's a supermarket here in the corner. Vaughn's. There's like 2 supermarkets on the island. There's this one, and then there's another one that's over by the ferry terminal. A lot of these are bistros and bakeries. Coronado gets really sleepy at nighttime, so you're not going to find a lot of nightlife here. So once you're done with dinner, if you're looking for nightlife, you'll find most of that back in downtown San Diego in the Gaslamp district, as everybody in Coronado just goes to sleep pretty early. All right, and at this point, we kind of start to peter out on the district, the business district of the village. There's a Rite Aid here, which if you need some like quick medicines or things like that, and then there's a little movie theater down there at the Village Theater. Well, all right, fellow explorers, if your travels are bringing you to San Diego, then you might be interested in checking out my full San Diego guide right here, or you might enjoy checking out one of my other favorite beaches, Mission Beach, home of Belmont Park. That video is right here. And as usual, fellow explorers, I won't say goodbye because I'm going to see you in the next video.